Want to be a topper in MBA entrance exams? Join BYJU'S Exam Prep, CAT and MBA YouTube channel and watch serial 99 percentilers teaching you the tips and tricks.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Alpa Sharma and this is our editorial analysis. I hope you can hear and see me very clearly, everybody. Very good morning, everyone. Good to see you guys back. Am I clearly visible and audible to everyone? Good morning, good morning, good morning, very good morning. So another Tuesday is here and we have another very interesting piece of article to read, many more things to learn through the article. I hope you can hear and see me very clearly. Yes, clearly audible and visible. All right. So what are we going to do in today's session? Where have I bought the article from? Let's have a look at that. So I've got only one article today, which is a long one and needs a very intense reading. The language is simple. We don't have a lot of vocabulary. We have only one slide of vocabulary, but the source of the article is New York Times. Okay, so we'll be doing in-depth reading of the article and we'll be trying to find out a lot of inference through the lines that I've bought. So inference-based article. Also, what I've thought about is that every week, since I meet you twice, I'd like to know your point of view here. Okay, good morning, Prad, Sai, Priya, Rajiv. Okay, I'd like to know your point of view here. So what I thought through about was that every week we try to do at least one Aeon article. Okay, so this week, the first day, that's Tuesday that I see you, I bought an article from the New York Times, and the other class that will be held on Thursday, I will be bringing out an article from the Aeon on a topic that usually people are uncomfortable with. Are you guys in with that? I'll try to bring at least one article every week if something very important doesn't crop up in the world. Also, what I've thought about doing is that towards the end of the class, I'd like to share the newspapers in the background. I'd like to share the Hindu, the Indian Express, the Aeon, the Guardian, the New York Times, and I'll tell you what are the important articles that you should be reading that have appeared in the last 2-3 days, the days that I haven't seen you. So you could possibly find those articles only and read them and pay attention to them. How does that sound? Sharing the newspapers in the background towards the end of the class. Hindu, Indian Express, The Guardian, New York Times and Aeon. These 5 newspapers, and I'll be asking you certain articles to read. How does that sound, everyone? Would you like me to do that? Tell me if you would be interested in watching the important articles. I'll just tell you what you need to read and what you can skip so that you don't have to read everything. Yeah, you're in, Priya? Okay, so we'll stick to it. Sounds good, yeah. So let's try to do that for some time and let's see how it picks up. Okay, so that's the idea. So today we're going to be doing an article from the New York Times. Let's quickly start off with the vocabulary. We have only one slide of the words, only 4 words. So let's understand the words. The language is simple, obviously, because the words are few. But many things need to be inferred here. The first word is irrepressible. Irrepressible is something that you cannot put a control over. जिसको आप रोक नहीं सकते हो, वो होगा ही होगा. या फिर something जो कि बहुत wild move होता है. It's beyond your control. Is irrepressible. The irrepressible rouge is rouge. हम एक ऐसे person को बोलते हैं जो कि बहुत ही chaotic होता है और control से बाहर होता है. So उसके लिए हम word use करते हैं irrepressible. That's the first word. The second word is loathing. Loathing is hating from the bottom of your heart. I'd like to know what is one thing that you loathe in your life or in the people around you, or something that you absolutely hate. What is that one thing? I'll answer my opinions here, but I'd like to know, Mayank, no. But there is no group for these articles, but, please clarify this. Do you want a group where these articles PDFs are shared? If that's what you want, or do you want a group where we could talk and I would share important links? Because The WhatsApp and the Telegram groups where the PDFs are shared are illegal ones. They aren't allowed. Sharing the PDFs are illegal. You need to, so I can't be doing that. I can obviously share the link of the important articles that you have to read. So what is that you are looking out for in a WhatsApp group? I can create a Telegram group for you guys though. Okay, so I'd like to know what your demand is, Mayank. Okay, loathing. What is that you loathe around you? What is that you hate around you? Is that summers that you loathe? You intensely dislike something or disgust it. So hatred with a very high degree is loathing. Cunning, shrewd people, okay. You know what I loathe? Dirty politics. And I've been taking Hindu classes for the last 1.5, 2 years. And the deeper I get into the analysis of how politics runs, that's what I loathe. Lies. All right. Okay. Next word, solemnity. Solemnity is a state where a person is very calm, composed, dignified, serious, not very aggressive, not very impulsive, but in a very calm and composed state is solemnity. His ashes were laid to rest with great solemnity. That is no hatred, no chaos. With a lot of, in a dignified manner, his ashes were laid to rest. Okay? जैसे हम हिंदूज में गंगा में बहाते हैं ashes. So हम पूरी श्रद्धा के साथ, पूरी grace के साथ, पूरी love and dignified manner में we do that. That's the meaning of the sentence. That's the meaning of the word solemnity. Okay? So in a very composed, calm, dignified manner is, yeah, terrorism is another thing that we loathe. और अभी lately कश्मीर पे बहुत सारी न्यूज आ रही है, although it is not very important from the perspective of cat, but you still need to know what's happening because that might come up as a question in one of your GDs or PIs. What do you think about the killings that have been happening in Kashmir? So please have a fair point of view about it. Okay. The last word for the slide is state. A state is a position, a state is a mindset where you are very calm, you are composed, and you're not very aggressive. So state is related to solemnity, absolutely related. State law firms, these law firms are very calm, composed, and they don't take a lot of risk. Not taking a lot of risk, being unadventurous is state. A state mindset, okay, लाइफ आ रही है, धीरे धीरे आप उसको ले रहे हो, बहुत एडवेंचरस चीजें नहीं करनी, जॉब छोड़ दिया हिमालय पहुंच गए, nothing of that sort. So that's state. Okay, so I hope the meaning of all the words are clear. Send me a thumbs up if you are clear with the meaning of every word. Take a screenshot of the slide as well. Tell me if you have any doubts with the meaning of any words. Just remember, solemnity is related to state. The article should be interesting. We're talking of a very dignified manner of behaving here. Okay, so start karte hain with our article, but before we start with the article, two things. Meet our toppers. We have Prathamesh, Ashish, Vishwanath. They've gone to the best of the IIMs. To know more, you can join the Telegram group. The link is given in the description box. And if you wish to prepare for CAT 2022, a comprehensive program has been launched. So if you wish to be trained under the guidance of serial 99 and 100 percentile people, make sure you join the batch right away. You don't have a lot of time left for CAT 22 to happen. It's right at the corner. Jaldi se enroll kar lo, jaldi se preparation start kar do. The sooner you start, the better it is for you. So that's about our programs. Let's Shivangi. Okay. But याद रखना शिवांगी, एक बात आपको बताती हूँ. When you sit for an interview, should you be giving outright statements like that? Government nahi care karti about people in Kashmir. I probably will have to mince my words. You're going to be managers, my child Shivangi. Remember that. You have to mince your words. You have to speak something in a very non-provocative manner and a manner where you don't hurt anybody. Probably the interviewer is a pro-center audience and you can't be hurting him. So याद रखना, जो भी आप words use करते हो वो बहुत ही polite होने चाहिए. Okay? Let's start with our article, everyone. When every conversation becomes a game, we all lose. How can conversations become games? And why will we lose? So we will try to answer these two questions in the class today. Why conversations, when conversations become games? Read the page and send me a done when you're done. After you've read this, tell me this page, does it have any argument by the author or is it full of premise? Does this page have any argument or is it full of premise? Absolutely. No argument at all. It's full of premise. This whole page is basically setting up of what's going to come up. We don't know the page. So a lot of people may actually be confused with what arguments are. Remember, is there a very strong opinion put across by the author here in the page? No, it's only information. He's only setting up the plot to something that's going to come up. Okay, so a lot of inference questions cannot be drawn from the premise. Remember, the inferential questions, the main idea questions, the tone questions, they a lot depend on the argument by the author. If we have questions on the premise, they are majorly going to be questions on data, factual questions. And remember, for answering factual questions, you can always have the liberty to come back to the passage and confirm your answers. While you guys solve reading comprehension, let me talk to you a little about reading comprehension that we can deal with through this passage. Okay. While you solve a reading comprehension, tell me how many of you actually come back to the passage multiple times for finding the answers. I'll try to discuss how many times coming back is okay and how many times coming back is not okay. How many of you come back again and again to the passage to find the answers to the questions that come up in CAT level RCs? I'd like to know that. Let me address reading comprehension today through the passage. Let's think of this as a reading comprehension that has come up in the examination. Okay, tell me. Okay, 2 times, 3 times. Okay. बच्चे मेरी एक बात याद रखना. And write it down if you're making notes. Bold में लिख लेना. Referring back for tone and theme and summary based questions is not allowed. Bold में लिख लो. Not allowed. If you are spending time to read a passage, read it in a manner that you know the answers of all the 3 questions. Passage में summary based है, or if it's a paragraph based summary question like CAT gives us, you need to know the answer by the end. Read it in a manner that is my favorite word. तमीज से पढ़ो, एक बार पढ़ो, and you have to know the answer to these questions. You should not refer back. And most of the times, inferential questions as well do not require referring back. As well as structure-based questions. You cannot refer back to the passage for answering these. Every time there's an urge to refer back, tell your mind, I am wasting my time. If at one go, I did not get these 3 correct, I will not get these correct even 2 times or 3 times. And I cannot afford to read anything twice or thrice for answering these questions. If these are factual questions, data-based, कौन से year में graduate हुआ, you don't have to first, just come back and confirm it is written right there. You just need to confirm that once again. So remember that, write it down bold, okay? Shivangi, बच्चे, if you have problem, read slow. But एक बार पढ़ो बच्चे. Remember, क्या आप एग्जाम में 2 बार पढ़ सकते हो? नहीं पढ़ सकते हो. आपके पास टाइम नहीं होगा. आपके पास नहीं है टाइम. It's a super lengthy paper. You have to train yourself during practice to not refer back. That's when you'll not refer back in the actual examination. If you keep telling yourself, I can refer back, you'll do that in the actual exam also. Okay? So remember that. Okay? Chalo, let's move on. Tabhi, back to the agenda. Only premise. He tells us that there were competitions where knowledge was tested and he considers himself to be a very knowledgeable person. This premise leads us to the conclusion that he was a very knowledgeable person. He considers himself to be a very knowledgeable one. He knew a lot. आगे देखते क्या होता है. How does the conversation become a game? We still don't know. Read the page and send me it on. Answer the question after you've read it. The question is in the first 2 paragraphs before but, what is the author's focus on? What is the author focusing on in the first 2 paragraphs before but till this point? Because now the author is giving out his opinions. Sai 3-4 times is a lot. You cannot do that. No, you cannot. Gaining knowledge. Yeah, Neha. He is basically focusing on prioritizing knowing more and more. Exactly. His insatiable hunger towards learning and knowing. He was keen to gain as much as possible education in terms of knowledge, not merely what's written in the school and college textbooks, but beyond that, reading and knowing. Exactly. That's what he's focusing on. To know more. Okay, that's what the focus is on. Now remember, when there is a contradiction, we have to be very, very, very attentive because the author It's like the same thing I keep repeating. Ma'am, I study a lot, but I don't get marks. What's important? You studying a lot? Possibly not. You not gaining marks is more important. So whatever is written after the contradiction is the most important part. That's what is going to be supreme here. In the last paragraph, he states a contradiction. What is the contradiction here? You answer this. He gives you a contradiction in the last paragraph. What is the contradiction? Because the previous paragraph said, my yearning for knowledge is supreme and knowledge is the most important thing for him. So what is the contradiction here then? What's the contradiction? He gives you a very strong opinion in this last paragraph. What is it? Gaining knowledge was important for him. But if you talk about politics, it's something else. It's not gaining knowledge. Yes, his opinion is about debating, usually the political one. And the idea of such debating is not gaining or sharing knowledge. Comparing gaining knowledge to mere political discussions which are done to gain self-satisfy and winning, difference in purpose of gaining knowledge in reference to academic team and debating team, and how this knowledge is driving the thirst for victory in politics. Disha, I love your answer, my child. I love your answer. Online has come across people who only want to win conversations and not gain knowledge. Exactly. So, in the previous paragraphs, he said, we were part of these teams in schools because we wanted to gain knowledge and share knowledge. And that's a part of the conversation. And there's another kind of conversation he focuses on where there are political discussions happening. And the purpose of these political discussions, debates are not to gain and share knowledge. The purpose is only and only one thing, and that is victory. Where is it? It's written, yes. And that's only and only victory. मुझे जीतना है. तुम्हारा political opinion क्या है मुझे नहीं पता, but मैं इस level पे जाके fight करूंगी कि मुझे जीतना है. Now do you see when every conversation becomes a game of winning or losing? Political discussions, debates where I want to win, then nobody wins, everyone just loses. I'm sure you must have come across many people arguing on the dinner table, in the train, in the metro on why XYZ party should be voted or not voted, or why this party is doing well or not doing well. Or वो conversation it stoops so low that you actually realize that there's no point of being a part of such a conversation. Internet is full of it today. That's the opinion of the author. So we have a very strong argument being made here. Okay, let's read the next page. Send me a done after you're done reading this. But ma'am, if you have knowledge, that time you give answer to all the questions. That's true about the academic team and discussion that were happening while he was in school and college. But it does not happen like that, Shivangi, जब political debates होती हैं. वहाँ क्या knowledge है? मेरी पार्टी अच्छा कर रही है, नहीं कर रही, और इस पार्टी ने इतना अच्छा किया है इस religion के लिए. क्या ये knowledge है? या क्या ये सिर्फ एक पार्टी को superior दिखाने के लिए conversation हो रहा है? Yes, Priya, you're absolutely right. Read the page, everyone. Send me done when you're done. Done. Okay. So now he says winning and losing is an inevitable part of conversations, debates, and even those academic teams that used to fight in schools and colleges. Now, let's talk about academic teams. Okay, there were two teams that would come up and would fight, and winning and losing was a part of that too. Like winning and losing is a part of a political debate, but there is a difference he focuses on. The author says that in the academic teams that used to debate, somebody would win, somebody would lose. But the person who would lose will not lose out of submission. कि चलो ठीक है यार मुझे माफ करो मैं मान गई तुम्हारी बात. That is submission. In academic team debates or the competitions, somebody would know the correct answer of a GK question. It's like a quiz. And by the end of the quiz, everybody would end up knowing more. So the team who would lose would also know more, and the team would not lose out of submission. The team would lose out of knowing less or knowing more for the winner. Whereas in a political debate, both of the teams might know or not know everything about the topic yet. The political debate is more about opinion than data, than knowledge. And if it is about opinion, then the person who is losing will lose only and only out of submission. उसने surrender कर दिया कि चलो ठीक है मान गए तुम्हारी बात. So ultimately, the debates that are full of opinions rather than knowledge are useless ones according to the author. That's his opinion. The problem is that the debates are not happening in a healthy manner and they are merely opinions. And opinion wale debates, because they are not backed up by data, are useless. It shows the debates just loud and noisy. Exactly. And they're done only for winning. Correct, Neha? So, agar sirf winning hi aapka purpose hai without gaining knowledge, then it's a useless debate. Okay? Next page. Read the page and send me done. Answer the question, what is debate team energy? Answer this. Correct, Priya. Answer, what's debate team energy? What's debate team energy, everyone? Come on, guys. Give me an answer. What's debate team energy? Energy to win the debate and not submissing at any condition. Yeah. In a very animated manner too. Super high energy. Very animated conversation. Very aggressive conversation. It's a dominant energy. Exactly, Akash. Not giving up at any moment because what you believe according to you is absolutely correct and the other person is a jerk. He's a loser. He does not know anything. कोई आपके opposition का point of view रखेगा, आपको लगेगा वो jerk है, उसको कुछ नहीं पता, मैं जानता हूं, मुझे मत बताओ. That is debate team energy. Is it good? No, it isn't. Debate team energy for learning, very good. For arguing and winning, very bad. It is an energy that deviates us from the subject matter being debated, probably might lead more into opinions. Exactly. Sometimes when we realize we are wrong, if the debate is healthy, we surrender our wrongfulness, but it's not to make us rage more. It's an energy which focuses on to get into the argument and towards the end, okay? Debate team energy is when the focus shifts from the subject matter of the conversation to merely arguments, exactly, and the intensity is supremely high. Very good. Debate team energy refers to disagreement in opinion such as that turns dominating, leaving the participants miserable, exactly. And both the participants are actually, you hate each other. You hate yourself and the other person too. But party ho rahi hai, or tea party ho rahi hai, drinks party ho rahi hai, people sit and they talk about politics. You tend to hate each other, you tend to hate yourself too. Why am I getting into this conversation? That's the negative debate team energy the author is focusing on here. But more important, the debate team energy separates us from the importance of the subject matter being debated. We are not caring about what is the subject matter. Kashmir mein kya ho raha hai? We're not. We have deviated from that. सही गलत की जगह अब हम political parties पे आ जाते हैं. BJP, Congress, XYZ. That makes our lives miserable. Next page. Read the page, everyone. Send me done. Ugliness of the debate team energy. See? Absolutely, Amrit, you're right. Now I'll ask you inference questions. Just send me done when you're done. The first inference question. What is the fodder here? What is the fodder here? First inference question. Okay, what is the fodder here? And why is this metaphor used? What is the actual context here? Fodder is a metaphor here. What is the actual relevance? The topics of discussion, TRPs, yes, that's the fodder. Fodder is basically chara. Cattle ko jo aap khilate ho, the food for the cattle is fodder, right? And there was a lot of this issue that same-sex marriages can be allowed or not is merely an example. Something else can also be used as a debatable topic. So he says this is one of the debatable topics he uses as an example and says people all over the media would argue about this. That was used merely for TRPs, clickbait. Yeah, I hope you know what clickbait is. And this was used merely for the sake of arguing. Instead of this, had there been any other topic of debate, it would still be used as a fodder on social media. It's like something people would feed on. Once it's finished, they'll move on to something else to feed on, to gain TRPs, for clickbait, attention, making a name, getting popularity, all of that. So the fodder here is any debatable topic that might actually decide the lives or death of people, but yet is used only to feed upon, like vultures feed upon a dead body. That's the fodder here. Topics people unnecessarily debate upon. Amrit, the issue of marriage equality fueled debates and arguments on social media platform. Amrit, बस याद रखना ये जो equality and जो marriage है, marriage पे जो debate था, it's only an example. There could have been any other debatable topic. The idea is any debatable topic, which is probably these people don't even know about that. They're just debating for the sake of debating. And then सारे न्यूज चैनल्स में नहीं होता है, डिबेट होती है, they keep shouting, listen to me, stop talking. कल दूसरी टॉपिक होगी डिबेट पे, वही लोग आएंगे, they would not even know about that. Okay, so that's about it. This is the last page, I think. Yes, now read this, send me done, I'll ask you inference questions here. According to the page, what's the difference between academic team and debates on social media? It's empathy. That's one focus of the author. Ask me, Fats, what's your question? So now, ultimately, what is the conclusion the author is drawing? That's the last page of the article. What's the conclusion the author draws here? Or what is the conclusion that you can draw here? Tell me. In not more than 10 words. I usually get confused between judgmental and pragmatic. Very easy. First answer this question and then I'll differentiate between judgmental and pragmatic. What's the conclusion drawn by the author here? Okay, Neha, is that the conclusion from the whole passage? You're wrong, my child. Think of it again. Come up with a better answer. Empathy in academic team leads them to actual purpose of learning and gaining knowledge. Okay. Disha and Neha, can I say the conclusion that's been drawn by the author here is to promote the fact that one needs to get into conversations or debates that aid knowledge and make a person more empathetic by giving you examples of political debates and academic team debates. Do you agree with my conclusion? Have the empathy when reading, learning, discussing, and try to refrain from debate. Exactly, Akash. That's the point. Difference between these two, and one makes you more empathetic, the other doesn't. Because winning ultimately is not the purpose. Knowing, learning, and having more empathy is. The author, through the various ways, concludes that even if we don't know much, it is necessary that we gain knowledge. Yes, that empathetic nature, academic team leaves room for self-improvement. Yes, Amrit, absolutely. Academic energy is important for us in improving a knowledge, whereas debating teams, they just are unhealthy conversation where only winning matters. Correct. Tanvi, I'll repeat the conclusion. The conclusion here is through giving us the examples and through the comparison between academic team debates and political debates and debates that happen on social media, the author tries to focus on that the ultimate purpose of debating is not winning, but the ultimate aim is to gain more knowledge and be more empathetic. And he, of course, focuses on the part that gaining knowledge and empathy is the priority in life and winning isn't. Okay. All right. Now, guys, that was the gist of the passage. That was the conclusion the author draws here by comparing both the kinds of debates. Okay. Now, I'll first answer Prad's question in the tone of the author. How is pragmatic and judgmental different? And then I will show you today's Hindu, Indian Express, Aeon, Guardian, New York Times, and we'll see what are the important articles we need to be reading. Now, Prads and everyone else, when you're trying to answer any tone of the author question, always remember almost every tone can be categorized in 3 columns, and the columns are positive, negative, and neutral. Okay, positive and negative are those tones that are full of opinions, and neutral tones are where there are no opinions. Pragmatic is a neutral tone where the author talks in a very practical manner without giving us any strong opinion of his. Whereas judgmental is an extremely negative tone where the author gives us very strong opinions without backing it up with any research or any data. These two, pragmatic and judgmental, are two opposite tones, absolutely opposite. A judgmental article will be full of opinions only without any research, without any data, without any reasoning. Whereas pragmatic will be full of reasoning, data, research, logic. So, if you wish to eliminate options in tone of the author and find a better tone, what you need to identify is that first thing, is there an opinion or not? If there is, it's a positive or a negative opinion. If there is not, then the neutral ones would be my answer, like analytical, narrative, descriptive, pragmatic, didactic. These are neutral tones. And then positive ones can be reverential or maybe praiseworthy. The negative ones will be demeaning, condescending, patronizing. These are the negative ones. So that's how you figure out the correct answer here. Okay. Now, sharing today's Hindu and Indian Express and Aeon in the background. Please give me a second. Let's see what are the important things we should be reading from these papers. You can do it as a homework till I see you next on Thursdays. Hindu is right here. Please give me a second. Yeah. Sharing it in the background. PPT. Here you go. This is the Hindu. Let me open up Indian Express. Let me open up the Aeon. Let me open up the Guardian, New York Times Editorial, and the Guardian. Opinion, here you go. Okay, let's have a look at the Hindu, everyone. I hope it's visible in the background to everyone. Can you see the Hindu, Indian Express, everything? Yes, here we go. Let's have a look at the Hindu. Today is 7th. Right. Here is the first page of editorial. Delayed response, leave that article, don't read it. And normally that goes by the name populism. Please read that. This article is an important one, specifically if you don't know how the politics functions. Please read that. Okay, बहुत important है article. Please read that and read it. Joy after pain. I'm sure you must be following up tennis. If you have been following it, you know the victory. You know what happened few days back. इसको नहीं पढ़ा है तो पढ़ लेना. You need to know what has happened. Okay, a silver moment to propel a Bay of Bengal dream. No, leave that. Don't read this. अच्छा, एक बात याद रखना everyone. Text and context एक page आता है The Hindu में, which is this one. It's a very important page. The debates around the Surrogacy Act. Yes. So आपको पता है surrogacy in our country was banned a few years back. उसके पहले हमारे country was a hub for surrogacy. So ये act क्या है, ये कैसे ban हुआ है? बहुत interesting article है. Please read this in detail. Okay. The next page of editorial op-ed. No, you can just skim through it. This one is a good one. Okay. ये जो article होता है ना, this one here. Let me show you. ये हमेशा छोड़ देना. This one is always the political article. Local politics. ये आपको बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ना होता है. This page. And then this the last page of text and context. Let's see what it talks about. I think I will be taking this article on Thursday. A concept that explains how inequality is reproduced through the dominant social and cultural conditions. Beautiful read. Please read this article, everyone. Let's have a look at the Aeon. अभी lately कौन सा articles आए देखते हैं एक बार. Kid culture. Yeah, I was referring to the French Open, correct. Okay. Did you like this session? If you haven't done that, please do it right away. Kid culture, most cultures, kids get tagged along with grown-ups, a moosh with friends, but American life is heavy with kid-friendly articles. Only skim through it, okay? And this is very good. This is very, very good. I think I shall take this article on Friday. A very good one. And free fall into darkness. Scientists study to illuminate human psychology. So why are we blind to the mental lives of the caged animals? Simple article है, बहुत simple language है. This is a good one. इसको नहीं छोड़ना, ठीक है? And let's have a look at the New York Times. I married the wrong person and I'm so glad I did. You can only skim through it. It's about grief and marriage, not a very important one from the perspective of cat. Your kids are not doomed. Yes. A very good one. Very, very good one. It's about the climate change. From the big short to the big scam. Fraud and cryptocurrencies. Guys, देखो, cryptocurrencies is one thing जो मेरे हिसाब से holds a lot of value. Lot of value. Specifically in GDs and PIs. Please know in and out of how cryptocurrencies function and why are they making up news these days. जो हमारा बजट में अभी फरवरी में जो बजट हुआ फरवरी में जो बजट हुआ था, what did the budget say? Why did it ban cryptocurrency? क्या taxation हुआ? क्यों न्यूज में आया? दिसंबर से cryptocurrencies they have been in news massively. China, India, many countries. क्या है? कैसे functioning है cryptocurrency की? Know that in and out. It's been 50 years. I'm not an A-plan girl anymore. You can only skim through it. Let's have a look at the Guardian. Anything in the Guardian? Oh. Yeah, here it is. The Guardian's view on deportation to Rwanda. डिपोटेशन का सिर्फ लॉ समझ लेना, यू डोंट हैव टू रीड एग्जैक्टली द होल आर्टिकल। डिपोटेशन क्या होता है, क्यों होता है, किसका होता है। हमारे कंट्री में रोहिंग्यास का डिपोटेशन बहुत पॉपुलर हुआ था, बहुत न्यूज हुई थी उसके बारे में। जस्ट रीड द इंटरनेशनल लॉ ऑफ डिपोटेशन। 4 days a week working. Don't read the article, don't feel sad. Monkeypox, no, 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 nothing. Nothing's very important in the Guardian. No, none of them. Okay, guys, I think that's it. That's it. Okay, that's it from the important articles. At any moment when I tell you about what's happening in the world, if you don't know about it, just let me know. I'll give you a little gist of it, little brief of it from the GK perspective as well. Okay, so that's all for today, everybody. And I am going to be sharing something else in the background before I wind up the class, and that is your homework. So your homework is to, one second, here we go. So your homework is to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment under my video. Your comment homework is tell me the tone of the article we discussed today. Okay, that's what your homework is. Think carefully, tell me the tone, and follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram. Download our app. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you had a great learning session with me, and see you all on Thursday. Bye, everyone. God bless you.